How's it going? Charles Bosin here. We are in my office, and today we're going to be actually doing the Q&A from here on the 43rd floor of Rockefeller Center here in New York City. I'll actually show you right behind me that's the Empire State Building, which is amazing. So I get to look at that every single day. Hopefully this thing stays here. So we're going to go through the Q&A. This is clearly really popular. People are just bringing up all sorts of subjects, and it's really, really deep responses. So I can see this as like a daily kind of deal, like not like the daily Gary Vee show, but I know that's daily, but we'll go through it really quick. All right, so the guy goes into, love the channel, found it, checking out book reviews, 48 Laws of Power, great book, obviously. I cope with my negative family members by mentally thanking them for improving my ability to overcome negativity. Okay, so in short, he has gratitude, which is amazing. If you go throughout life and you don't have gratitude, then you literally have no existence. If you don't have gratitude, then you really have nothing to look forward to, because you're looking to the external to make you happy. But if you already have gratitude in of itself, then you're grateful for just even waking up. You know, there's a lot of people that go to sleep and they don't wake up. You know, and obviously you guys are watching this, you're young, but there's a lot of people that are double your age that wish they were your age, and you take it for granted. But having the gratitude, I'm gracious that I'm young right now. Where was I? I was at the gym today, and this guy's looking at me in the locker room, and I was like, hey, how's it going? And he literally said that. He's like, man, you got a head of hair. And we start going into it. He goes, I wish I had that, you know. And he went into his life, which was what his parents wanted him to be. And I said, I always ask the same question to someone, and which is, if you had to live your life over again, what would you do differently? And I've gotten an array of answers, and today was as fundamentally just straightforward, which was live the life that he wanted to live and not live the life that he thought his parents wanted him to live. So that was powerful. Everyone can help us if we're looking for the good in a situation. 100% correct. If you're only looking for the good, you will find the good. If you're only looking for the bad, you're only going to find the bad. And I know it sounds straightforward, but I just wear that hat for one day. I can tell you right now, you'll walk out and be like, whoa. In conversations, walking throughout, if there's an issue that's going on in your life currently, if there's a health issue, if there's a financial issue, if your job or you don't like your boss, how people appear in your life is exactly how you want them to appear. So the person that you hate is someone's spouse or someone's best friend, and they show up to them a lot differently than the way that they show up to you. So just keep that in mind, is that they only show up to you as an asshole or as a bad spouse or a bad lover or as a bad friend or disloyal. All right, so next comment is, hi, this is Brady Dice. I recently had read multiple books on finance, investing by Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett's the best. I worked hard these past few years to buy a couple of shares in the S&P 500, but my family says it's too risky. I educated myself to the ability, but they're saying that they're too young, that he's too young at 17 to put money into the stock market. By putting money in the market, so he's saying, I'm doubting myself. My question is, how do you know when you're ready to execute any risky business and or investment? This is such a cliche answer, but you don't. Okay, and I can go through 2009. I've been in finance for 2 years. I just graduated college in 2007. 2009, 2007, I graduate college, I go into finance, recession hits, 2009, I absolutely hate what I'm doing, they announced layoffs, I volunteered to be laid off, they put me on the list, I had no idea what I was going to do. There's 8 million people don't have jobs, whatever amount, or 4 million people don't have jobs, 8 million people don't have foreclosures or whatever, it might be the opposite, but I get into real estate, and my brother asked me through email. I said, hey, by the way, don't email me at my work anymore. I don't have the email. I just volunteered to be laid off. And during the worst recession, I volunteered to be laid off. I had no idea what I wanted to do, too. I had no idea. I just knew that what I was doing at Oppenheimer Funds, it was a financial company downtown in the World Trade Center, and I hated it. I hated it. Going to work, I hated it. So I volunteered to be laid off, blah, blah. So I tell my family, my brother says, this one line that has stuck with me. He didn't say, hey, Charles, or what's going on? He just literally replied, he said, who did you ask before doing this? And that really hit me. Who did you ask? So it hit me hard because I look up to my brother. And the funny thing is, I to this day, and I just thought of this, like, who did I ask? Like, what permission, Brady, do you have? Like, why are you're 17. You're way smarter than I was at 17. I was working since 12 as a hardcore laborer, as a caddy at the local golf course, just busting my ass in the hot summer. Like, what we were doing was crazy because we had money. And our parents never questioned it. But your parents, the reason they're questioning it is because they don't want you to fail. And the reason they don't want you to fail is because they don't want to see you get hurt. They don't want you to get hurt because they don't know if they can handle you getting hurt or you losing all of your money or them having to deal with that situation. So really, as bad as it sounds, it's really their insecurity and not yours. You're taking on your parents' insecurity. And I know this because 2009, I get into real estate. I started to like it. The market was crap, to say the least. Started at a small firm, then worked my way up. I transferred to a big firm, and then I started my own firm, which I'm in the office right now, in 2014. Yeah, 2014. I started my own firm. Do you think I got a little pushback on that? I announced it at Thanksgiving in front of my whole family. Everybody was like, what do you mean you're starting your own firm? What do you mean, huh? I don't understand. You're going to fail. You're not going to succeed. You're going to fail. That's stupid. It's risky. It costs too much money. No one's going to go with you. All of your clients are going to go with someone else. 2 years later, I'm thriving. So everyone's insecurity was getting pushed onto me when in fact, I actually had a fear of success, a fear that it would actually work out. That's how crazy it was. I didn't actually have a fear of failing. I had a fear of success. I'm like, what if it gets so big and I can't handle all this business? So, Brady, don't take anyone else's insecurity onto yourself. You do what you want to do. You know why? Because it's your money. You earned it. You do what you do. Do your life. They have a book out. You can read the article, just Google it. The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. And it's absolutely incredible. And it was the exact same regret that I brought up with that elderly man, well, not elderly, but like an older guy. He's in his 60s that I was talking to in the gym locker room this morning. He lived the life that he thought his parents wanted him to live, instead of live the life that he wanted to live. And now he's 65, and he's so ingrained in those habits that he can't actually break those habits. So Brady, go out and do what you want. And by the way, to go with your question, how do you know when you're ready? By asking that question. If you ask that question, you're ready. Fact. If you're just thinking and you're like, oh, should I do it? Should I not do it? If you're asking the question, how do you know when to execute? You're ready to execute. And if you wait, it's going to be too late. Especially in a stock market, especially with the volatility of stocks, starting a business, getting into a market too late, making sure your product is perfect before launching. I see it all the time. I hear about it all the time. All right, moving on. I have a few questions. What are we at, 9 minutes? Holy cow. This is going a little bit longer than normal, but I'll go through this really quick. I have a few questions. Have you read Strengths Finder? Strengths Finder? No, never read it. Taking the test that comes with it? No, never taken the test. If so, what were your results? Didn't have any results. If you haven't read it and taken the test, have you taken 16 personalities online? I haven't taken that. What was your major in college? Oh my God. So college is worthless. That's the way I look at it. I almost failed out of high school. I should have actually failed out of high school. I should have failed out of college. If I got lower than a C, then I would have failed out of college, because in Stats 2, I already failed twice. And if I failed the third time, I was kicked out of my program, my major in college, which means I would have been kicked out of college. So, to be honest, I don't see college is taught, and this is a generalization, college is taught by professors who probably have not worked in the private sector that they're teaching in. They probably were not salespeople. They probably weren't marketing people or accountants. They read accounting books. They read marketing books. And those books are published and written by other people who read other books, and none of those authors, no authors write textbooks that actually were in accounting, that actually were in marketing or sales or whatever subject you're studying. They're never written by people that were in the private sector. People like, I'll give you a perfect example. Someone like this. This is Richard Branson. Everybody knows who he is. He's the Virgin guy. He's not an actual virgin, but billionaire. This guy is not going to write a textbook. This is the book about himself. It's thick. It's big. This is the biggest book he's ever going to write. He also wrote another book called Screw It, Just Do It. So that goes back to the previous question about when are you ready? You're never ready. You're never ready. You're never 100% ready. But that makes it fun. All right? So my major in college was marketing. I think, actually no, it was business administration and a minor in marketing. Don't worry about it. College is, there's actually a guy, Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is a VC venture capitalist, venture capitalist, who invested very early on in Facebook, in PayPal. The guy's a brilliant guy. And I think it's Peter Thiel. He also wrote the book. He also, look up his book. He also wrote a really good book. And he is paying kids not to go to college, because it's a waste of 4 years of their life, of their best years of their life, their most energetic years of their life. They are also spending $40,000 to $50,000 for a piece of paper that says, I graduated from York College, which is where I went. I played Division II rugby. How did you decide upon real estate as opposed to any other business? I kind of fell into it, and this goes to passion. I think I'm going to just do another video maybe tomorrow, or cut this one off and then do another video tomorrow about passion. How did I get into real estate? So essentially, I was in finance, but I've done every other job. I did cold calling. I did landscaping work. I was a waiter. I was a caddy. I was an engineer. I was in door-to-door sales. I mowed lawns. I was in marketing. I was in finance. I was in every job that you can think of. I helped people out in law. I had a small online business. I did eBay for a little bit. I did Craigslist for a little bit, where you buy things and you resell it. I did everything under the sun. So when people say, how do you find your passion? You have to do so much crap in your life that you understand what you absolutely hate doing, which for me was finance. I thought I had to do finance because my brother was in finance, my sister was in finance, my dad was an accountant. I'm like, oh, of course. But I'm not. I'm a sales guy. I'm a guy that likes talking to people. And by the way, this personality that you see right now is developed over 8 years. This isn't just like I have been this. It's by reading books like this. It's by reading other books on sales like this. Work by referral. I have 3 of them, okay? Books are your way out. It is not by going to college. It is not by studying. It is by reading books that are really good, that are by people way smarter than you and I. So I'll continue the rest of this. Part 2 is going to be tomorrow. I'm going to do it right after this, and I'll answer the rest of your questions. I think this is Clark. Clark, I love you, brother. And to anyone else, if you have any questions, leave in the comments below. I know this one is 13, 14 minutes. I'm really sorry that it's taken this long. I know you're probably like, dude, shut up. But anyway, subscribe to the videos. Ask, I should say, any questions. Have an awesome day. Live with passion, as Tony Robbins says.